Hey, what's up guys? This is Brian from Whisper Status 74, and this video is again going to be about burn-in. Now really quickly before I get into the video, I get a lot of comments every day asking about OLED and asking about plasma. So in the last video, I brought to attention some of the numbers that you see on Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which is a new title. A lot of these videos that are about OLED and burn-in aren't to get views. This channel does not really care about views and likes. I'm not really super interested in that. I do whatever topic I feel like doing at the time. So many of you that have been part of the community for a long time have said, hey, you're beating this to death. But keep in mind, guys, a very small percentage of the community actually watches the videos. Every video is really viewed by between 70 and 80% of new viewers. And the reason that is many of them are seeing the channel for the very first time and have brand new questions. I answer questions about OLED, burn-in, and even plasma every day. I respond to them in depth. I'm very active in the comments. It's a legitimate fear for many of you. And I don't just do it because I feel like talking about burn-in. For those of you that are new to the channel, I'm Brian. This is a small tech therapy channel. We're not talking about burn-in in the case of pro or against OLED. I'm a huge fan of OLED. There are many videos on the channel about OLED. There's many videos on the channel about burn-in. Many of them are showing you severe burn-in. Other ones are burn-in checks for panels that I see out there that are over a year old now. I do tests on them to make sure that they're doing okay. Keep in mind also that I recommend OLED daily. I'm a huge fan. I am looking at one currently myself. I'm also realistic about them in the sense that burn-in is still a problem. And if I see something that is going to be a problem for you guys in terms of a certain program or like Modern Warfare, a certain game, I'm going to bring that to your attention. I also have another example today. But I know you guys are tired of this subject. But also keep in mind, guys, there's over 600 videos on this channel. 600. I do 3 or 4 of them a week. So I know you feel like it's a high ratio of burn-in videos. I don't do these because I want to. I don't do them because I think they're going to get me a lot of views. I do them because they're asked about. That people are actually concerned. They're about to spend thousands of dollars on a display and they're concerned about them. So in those comments, I don't just respond, hey, go back through my catalog. I have certain videos based on burn-in or image retention. There is a difference. The example I'm going to show you now is burn-in that's happened in my own home and goes back into what we talk about babysitting displays, how I don't find it to be arduous. However, if I have a family and I have children, the viewing habits of a display that is in the main room can be problematic, and I'm going to show that to you. So again, I'm sorry if you guys are seeing another burn-in video, but this happened to me today. I noticed it today, and I want to bring it to your attention because it does talk about Sundays in the NFL, namely the Redzone. If you guys are not familiar with the NFL Redzone, it's basically a channel, a separate subscription depending on where you are, that covers the entire NFL. It covers it. It shows every single game. It can go back. It can go forward. It doesn't really matter. It jumps around. There are no commercials or very few commercials. And what it ends up doing is it basically goes from game to game. It can go from games that are live if they're within the red zone. It can also show you games that of a big play just happened or a big penalty or a big injury. The problem is it doesn't change and it stays on that same frame the entire time. Not the ticker on the bottom, but the NFL Red Zone emblem is on there the entire time. Many of you guys watch football the entire day. I don't personally watch it the entire day, which is what's interesting about what I'm about to show you. My main display is a plasma. It was one of the last Panasonic plasmas. It's an S60. And I took care of it very, very carefully, like I do advise many of you. Changing content, making sure that you have all your screensavers on. But the difference between what I'm going to show you is when you're watching content, your cable box doesn't have a screensaver. It's when it's in Apple TV or Amazon Prime or Netflix that it'll eventually dim out or it will time out. Your cable box isn't going to time out. Your TV might time out, but your cable box is not. So I'm going to show you an example of it. This is burn-in. This is not image retention, by the way. We've done some exercises to get rid of it. It is there, and it did happen to me. So the reason I'm putting this video out today is to warn you guys about the NFL Redzone. All right, give me a second. Whoop. Now this is a Panasonic Plasma. This is in my main living room. This is the TV that my family watches. It's 65 inches. Now many of you have plasmas out there, and you guys know I love plasma. You guys know I also love OLED, but I'm trying to give you realistic examples. This is typically the culprit that many of you guys are worried about, whether it's, as you can see, the dim down already of the main menu for the Google Fire Stick. All right. Your Netflix, your Prime Video, all your other things, they typically will dim down. As you see that get dim again. And typically they'll time out. The problem is your cable box will not. Now, in order to avoid copyright, I'm very close. You can actually see the phosphor of the plasma, but that's just my camera picking it up. That Redzone moniker does not leave. Now, I also watch this channel. It stays on a lot during the day, but not nearly as much as many of you watch it. Now, I can't even blame the kids for this simply because it's not a Netflix or anything else, meaning at some point during the day, this has stayed on the entire day. Now, don't pay attention to what you see. This is just the phosphorus, and this is just my cable. But wait till we go in, and I'll show you what it... Not, you can still see it. You can see how it's burned in. Now, it's only switching off of this because it's a replay. But it'll go right back to it. But you can see how it's burned in there. All right, so hold on one second. What was that? Now, many of you that are familiar with plasma, Panasonic plasma, you'll know about screen wipe. Now, as we get here, you will actually see that the Redzone is burned into it. You'll see it on black, and you'll see it there. It's pretty noticeable. There it is, yep. So if it's image retention, typically screen wipe will get rid of this. And I had screen wipe running for about 45 minutes today. I didn't get this today. I actually noticed this last night when going through other menus. Now, even though when I showed you this initially, the Redzone part was off as it showed a random replay, it's showing replay now and that Redzone's on there. It doesn't move around, it stays right there. So if you have an OLED, you are also going to have an issue with this. So this is really what the video is all about. It is a warning. The Redzone burned in on my plasma, which has been broken in, which has no other burn-in for the years that I've had it. I'm just warning you guys and saying this could happen to your OLED. A lot of you guys talk about some channels recommending zooming in. I don't love zooming in as it distorts the image and changes the image. So while zooming in the image can help you get rid of the moniker, it also takes away the information. I don't love because it also changes if you like a natural image, zooming in is going to crop it. It's going to distort it. I don't love that. So here are my closing thoughts. So even though many of you are bored to tears over this subject, if that or this video about the NFL Redzone saves any of you that just bought an OLED burn-in, then the video is worth it, and I'm sorry for the annoyance. And remember, guys, it's a community channel. It's not a paid channel. It's not a sponsored channel. I don't get any kickbacks from companies or anything. I do what I think is important at the time. The previous burn-in video was because a lot of you guys had concern about burn-in. This one is something I see on my own display. Now, I've had that Panasonic forever, but if it can happen to me on an older Panasonic, which has plenty of break-in hours, it can happen to your OLED just as quickly. Now, on that plasma, Pixel Orbiter is also enabled, so the pixels do move to avoid burn-in, but you saw for yourself that NFL Redzone logo did burn into my screen, and that's watching it nowhere near as much as many of you. So keep in mind, this is all to help you guys and to save you guys from having your displays get trashed, especially a brand new OLED. So if you have NFL Redzone, whether either zoom into it, but do not leave it. and leave that little tiny moniker there the entire day. And it's just another way that you have to take care of your OLEDs. And I used to take care of my plasma. I never would have left that on the whole time, but I clearly have burn-in now on my plasma. It's not gonna kill me or anything, but if I had a brand new OLED, I'd be pretty upset. All right, guys, thank you as always. Again, sorry it's another burn-in video, but it is necessary if it keeps any of you from having a problem with your OLEDs or plasmas. All right, take care.